Have you ever stopped to think about what it really means for a society to be inclusive? It's a huge question, right? And a really big piece of that puzzle is how a country supports its citizens with disabilities. So today, we're going to dive into the legal side of disability rights in India. And trust me, this is way more than just laws and regulations. It's about dignity and opportunity for millions and millions of people. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, let's get on the same page about what we mean by disability. The most important thing to get is that we're not talking about inability. The whole point is that it's a condition that can make it tougher to interact with the world around you. And here's the key shift in thinking. The focus isn't on what a person can't do, but on how our environment needs to adapt. It's a call for all of us, for society, to change and make sure everyone can be a full participant. So how does the law in India decide who gets these protections? Well, it all hinges on this core idea called Benchmark Disabilities. You can think of it as the official list. Basically, if a person has one of the specific disabilities on this list at a level of 40% or more, they qualify. This classification is literally the key that unlocks the door to rights, benefits, and legal protection. It's absolutely central to how the whole system works. So, how many of these benchmark disabilities are we talking about? The number is 21. Under the big 2016 law, the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, there are 21 distinct conditions that are officially recognized. That covers a huge range of human experiences. And this isn't some tiny fraction of the population. Just to give you some perspective, people with these benchmark disabilities make up about 4% of India's population. That's not just a statistic, that's tens of millions of people whose lives are directly shaped by these laws. And here's probably the most important number to remember. For every single person who qualifies under any of those 21 categories, the law provides 100% legal protection. That's it. Under the 2016 Act, their rights are not up for debate. They're non-negotiable. And the sheer variety within these 21 categories is pretty amazing. The law is incredibly comprehensive. We're talking about physical conditions like cerebral palsy and muscular dystrophy, sensory ones like visual and hearing impairments, and also conditions that you might not see, like blood disorders, hemophilia, thalassemia, and neurodevelopmental conditions like autism. It's a really broad spectrum. This expansion was a really big deal. Before 2016, the law only recognized 7 disabilities. So making that leap from 7 all the way to 21, that was a game changer. It wasn't just about adding more items to a list. It was about fundamentally broadening the definition of disability itself to include things like specific learning disabilities and conditions for acid attack victims. This move brought legal recognition to millions who were basically invisible to the system before. So this brings us to a really important question. Okay, we have this official list of 21 categories, but so what? Why is having this piece of paper, this official recognition, so incredibly crucial in someone's day-to-day life? All right, let's break that down. This is where it all connects. This is where that legal list turns into tangible, real-world rights and actual benefits. It's the moment the law jumps off the page and becomes a powerful tool that can actually change someone's life. Okay, so being on that list is the gateway to these 4 key things. First, it gives you access to government schemes, scholarships, financial aid, stuff that can be a real lifeline. Second, education and jobs. It means reservations in universities and government jobs, which creates actual pathways to a career. Third, and this is huge, it offers strong legal protection from discrimination. And finally, it provides practical, everyday support. Things like identity cards and concessions on transport that really help with independence. Now, none of this just appeared out of thin air. The system we have today is the result of decades of hard work and progress. To really get it, it helps to take a quick look back at the journey of how we got here. So the journey really kicked off in 1995 with India's first major disability law. Then, a massive moment came in 2007 when India signed on to the UN Convention, committing to global standards. That directly paved the way for that game-changing 2016 Act we've been talking about. And the progress continues. Just in 2020, new rules came in to really enforce accessibility standards. And this table just lays it all out perfectly. It shows just how huge that 2016 law was. I mean, look at the difference. The number of recognized disabilities, it tripled from 7 to 21. Job reservations in government went up. The law was now in line with international standards, and, crucially, the penalties for discrimination got way stronger. This wasn't just a minor update, it was a complete and total overhaul of the system.
So, we've gone through the laws and the rights, but a law is only as strong as the society that stands behind it. And that brings us to our final, and maybe the most important part. What's our role in all this? How do we go from just being aware of these things to actually taking action?
It's actually a pretty simple framework. First, just spread awareness. It all starts with a conversation. Talk about these rights with your friends, your family, and when you hear stereotypes, challenge them gently. Second, promote accessibility. This means looking at the world around you and asking, is this built for everyone? Advocate for things like ramps, captions on videos, and accessible websites. And third, and this is the most personal one, is to actively support and include. Create real opportunities for people with disabilities to be a part of our schools, our workplaces, our communities. So let's end on this thought. The legal framework is there, which is fantastic, but real, true inclusion, that's a team sport. It's on all of us. It's about shifting our own perspective and really understanding that disability is not inability. It's about all of us working together to build a society where the chance to thrive isn't just a privilege for some, but a fundamental right for absolutely everyone. So I'll just leave you with this. What's one step, just one small step you can take today?